I'm fishing the Shenandoah River today with Jeff Kelby, who's the Shenandoah Riverkeeper. Jeff, you want to tell us a little bit about your history with the Shenandoah here?
Sure. I started fishing this river when I moved to Virginia about a little bit short of 20 years ago. And fished it a good bit. Started playing a lot of hooky. Started a guide service and made a living for 7 or 8 years as a guide. Short period. Taking people fishing on the North Fork, South Fork, and Main Stem Shenandoah and other rivers in the Mid-Atlantic. And really grew to like the Shenandoah. Found myself coming here, to the Shenandoah River more than any other river, and so I moved to the valley and started bed and breakfast. I started an organization out in the Shenandoah Valley that it's a nonprofit, 501c3, and my job is to protect the river, to protect the Shenandoah River. I started this organization, partly because I lost my guide business when most of the fish in the Shenandoah River died back in 2004, 2005. And I had developed over time this belief and understanding that the river had some old historical pollution problems, and they remain today, and decided that I was going to, instead of just moving my guide business, I decided I was going to try to go to work for the river, spend some time trying to fix some of the old problems that we have. And I've had to learn on-the-job training. There's no roadmap, but I did start a nonprofit or an organization and became a member of the Waterkeeper Alliance, which is a group of river keepers and coast keepers and lake keepers, people that all are individual organizations based where their river or lake is, but we're a member of an alliance, and we work together on a lot of national issues. A lot of problems we have in the Shenandoah River are also the same problems that other rivers face.
How does someone find out if they have a Riverkeeper on their watershed?
Well, yeah, there's more and more every year. Best way to do it is go online, go to www.waterkeeperalliance.org. You can search in, you can put your local river in, and they've got all the river keepers and coast keepers and lake keepers there. And we've got pretty good coverage on the East Coast and West Coast and down along the Gulf. We're filling in the middle of the country. They were a little bit slower to start up.
Right.
But every group is its own individual organization, its own nonprofit, and sort of lives or dies by the work they do and the money they raise.
What do you actually do on a day-to-day basis as a Riverkeeper?
Now, everything is tied to this one theme, is that, at least for me and for the Shenandoah River, I believe that the most important work that I can do is pollution related. And as beautiful as this river is, it's probably the most beautiful river on the East Coast, maybe in the world. I know you guys from PA could argue with me on that, but nobody argues about what kind of river this is and what it looks like and how it makes you feel when you get on it. Unfortunately, though, we've got pollution problems. That was one of the first things I did. I had to deal with it was a waste treatment plant that treated waste for a couple small towns, this town right here in Broadway, and 2 poultry slaughterhouses, and some complicated problems that weren't being solved, and so we used legal actions to help get the process started. And in fact, here we are, February 2011. They just went online this past month with an upgraded system to solve it took them several years to build it, and about $20 million to solve the problems that they had, that I don't know would have been solved without a citizen getting involved and in bringing legal action against it. It might have continued to linger as it had for years and years. It's just an example. Well, the fact of the matter is, I'm kind of thinking that I'd like to be done with my work in about 5 years so I can go back to fishing and guiding.
Really?
I put 10 years into it. That's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah.
After 5 years, I've put 10 years. And
what do you think
I used to like to say I hope to work myself out of a job.
Right.
Get the fish back in the river healthy. Maybe I can go back to taking people fishing, and we'll see.
How is the recovery going as far as the following the fish kills that we had?
That's $1 million question. It is really hard to answer that. It's very hard to separate out recovery associated with good reproduction versus recovery associated with improved fish health. I do know, because I'm here all spring, and I do know that our fish health issues have been less severe than they were when we really lost a lot of fish during those 2 main years. You were there. 04 and 05 just wiped out the fishery, and we've had fish health problems every spring. Our smallmouth our males are still growing eggs, big problem. in and of itself, that to me indicates that there's chemicals in the river that are causing that to happen. That's not a natural phenomenon. It's not a biological advantage. This isn't evolution we're looking at. These animals are not reproducing as females. They just have eggs in their testicles, and that says to me that they're being exposed to chemicals that are interrupting their and causing a malfunction in their endocrine system. And we have lots of other things in our body that are related to the endocrine system, our immune system, growth and weight gain. Growth are modulated by the endocrine system, and I think that we have immune system problems that in our fish, and I think that it's evidenced by the annual eruption of lesions and sores and poor fish health in the spring. There's bacterial agents that are at work too, but they've always been here and they're not different here than they were. They haven't changed. They're obviously playing a role in this, but I don't think they would be playing the role they did if there wasn't an immune system problem in our fish. So
Right.
It's been very hard to get any kind of recognition of that issue. I've spent a lot of my time, first couple of years, really working kind of as an investigator over the fish issues, and trying to make sure that what the scientists were looking at matched what was actually happening in the river. And I hope I served some purpose in that. Our game department did too. So,
what can the average fisherman who's out here, every Saturday, or
yeah,
what can they do to work with a Riverkeeper? Or
man, fishermen are my eyes and ears. I mean, they're out here all year. They're like you and me. There's enough of them are silly enough to come out in any time of year to go fishing because they want to see the river and be on it and maybe catch some fish. And they let me know. And over the last 5 years, I'd say greater than 50% of the problems that I've discovered have come from fishermen picking up the phone either while they're on the river or when they get home and saying, I don't know, something was wrong, something didn't smell right, or I didn't like how the fish looked, or I get report whenever the fish health problems emerge in the spring. I get calls from all up and down the valley. I know exactly when they're happening. I mean, it's like the minute a lesion.
So people have your phone number handy.
Yeah, we worked really hard to get the phone number out, and that's important that people carry it in their wallet. I still carry Butch Ward's card in my wallet. Butch Ward has been dead for a decade.
Right.
It's because he came and he says, I'm trying to, find out X, Y, and Z, and I want you to carry my card in your wallet. And I still have it. Haven't been able to throw it out. So hopefully people keep my wallet, keep my card in their wallet. And, maybe I'll do half the things Butch did, and we'll keep moving this ball forward a little bit.